one's court to another. Then let's take you back to the East London Magistrates Court, where former South African Airways board member Yakhe Kwinana has appeared on extortion-related charges. Sipha Kema has been on the story, joining us live now. Remanded until the 26th then of March. That is just this Wednesday, as it were. Then further proceedings still set to happen on this one then, Sipha.
Absolutely, Arabile. I mean, today's appearance actually, from what we heard in court, it was meant to be a formal bail application because the state was not taking it as a first appearance, as she had already appeared at the Randburg Magistrates Court last week. But now the defense brought forward an issue saying that she's been detained for too long and that right after her appearance at the Randburg Magistrates Court, she was brought over to East London and was booked in at West Bank Correctional Services, but he says that she could have appeared last week already. He did try to see if he can get an application where he can perhaps get the matter dismissed, but unfortunately the state also said that they were not ready to proceed with the matter and to hear the bail application, and that they will be opposing the bail application, but also telling us that they would like the matter, then the application they filed was that the matter be remanded until the 26th of March, which the magistrate granted. Now, Arabile, the story, as we've heard and as we keep hearing different takes on it from people that are involved in it, including now I have with me one of those tenants or occupants who had actually who were the ones that actually opened the case against Kwinana. Joining me now is one of these people, and they want to remain anonymous now. Sisi inkosi kakhulu ngothetha nathi. Masiqale siyizisele ndiqaleni ukuba abantu bangabuza ukuthi nafika kanjani nina kulamhlaba, nahlula njani lamhlaba.
Phayana kulamhlaba sifike ngo-2019. In fact, mna ndifike sekubekiwe phayana already. Phofu abantu ababekileyo ngaba bahamba nomama uKwinana today abenza i-petition yobana thina masiphume phayana. Phaa kulamhlaba mna ndifike sebehlala. Ndanikwa iplot engahlali mntu kuba kusithiwa kufuna kuhlala abantu ndenzela uba le ndawo ide ibe yi-community right epheleleyo. That's how ndifike phayana.
Did you pay? Because bakhona abanye abantu who were sold the portion bathetha ngekomiti eyayikhona yathi ba amagqwetha akhona ayancedisa ukuthi umhlaba ibe ngowabo. Omnye wabantu beyesasa sathetha nabo.
Yes, I pay imali yamagqwetha for ubana ukuncediseka umhlaba. Inkuba kwakusithiwa i-aim was to uba umasipala athenge umhlaba, and then akwazi uba usukuziyela kumasipala ucela uba awuthengele umhlaba. You get amagqwetha. Thina safakwa kwi-site ezazingahlali bantu esasezenziwe already i-sites ezaziphaya.
Naniyazi uba lamhlaba is owned by uKwinana?
No, nangayazi uba is owned by Mama Kwinana umhlaba. Ndiuve ngokusendihlala phayana sendihlala like 3 years after ubana because wayengasayi phaa ndava sekuthiwa ngoske in fact afike kuthiwe hayi mana kumama umhlaba, and I'm like hayibo why kukho umama umhlaba kodwa kwekuthiwa masikhuphe imali kuzothenga umhlaba ngumasipala. And then go after ufika umama uKwinana ufika ecela meeting nabahlali. Bahlali ndiyanicela khani sidibaneni sihambeni siyofuna umasipala athenge lo mhlaba. Nisoleni uhlala because ndiyanibona apha senene families nihleli and yiminyaka. So mna anangxaki nalonto leyo. And then we went to umasipala. Sayofika sayamcela umasipala. Umasipala into abasicela yona wathi masenze i-deeds ze-plots. Abantu aba-identifywe abantu because umasipala waye wathi lamhlaba khange bona bakwazi uthenga because kwafika ilanduka i-report ethi lamhlaba ucontaminated. What ke ngoku ubana bakwazi kwenza i-portfolio, they need to identify abantu abahlala phayana bangaphi. Sabaxela ba 104 bathi masibasele ilanduka i-database yethu yabantu bahlala phayana, isite ibaye ikabani kubana uhlala nabani.
Ihambe njani rongo ke ngoku sisi kuze sizofikelela apha then nizombamba ke ngoku?
Ihambe rongo ngoske nge5 umasipala ne waye andiyazi bayihambe njani wrong ngobana umama uKwinana uske wathi gqise sithi masikhuphe rent esithi ngoku sisalinde umasipala aphendule ufuna ukhabe bhatala ii-areas sithi ke thina ke no since sesistage nomasipala let us talk nomasipala aziyeke ii-areas zomhlaba and then ke ngoku abhatalwe laa mali.
What happened ke ngoku because kukho nee-charges ke ngoku ezi-charges extortion charges njalo, and there was even ne-case harassment last year. So what has been happening kuni?
I-harassment was ubana besingenele ezindlini sikhatyela amacango kuthiwe masikhuphe imali uzobana kusihleli kulaa ndawo. Why uzohlala efamini yam ungalandukanga? And then we were like, we had an agreement yobana sizawuthengela umhlaba ngumasipala. Umasipala akho nto angayaziyo eyenzekayo phaa kulaa fama. Umasipala siqale ingxoxo naye ngoSeptemba. Umama uKwinana yonke into ayenzileyo erong uyenze after odibene nomasipala. Andazi nobana ucetyiswe kwamasipala ubana like ucetyiswe ngabantu abangaphandle uba like khaba ufuna irent kwabantu okanye kwethini but umasipala khangabe nanto edibanisa nerent.
All right, so yes, to say that is one of the occupants that have opened a case against Yakhe Kwinana here in East London, where they also attended the court proceedings but asked to remain anonymous, as we see that it seems that there's people within the community as well that are split, or the occupants on that piece of land have also split into two groups, and their take on this issue is very different. But also, Arabile, this speaks a lot to some of the things that we saw when we were that side, where there were posters that were advertising plots for sale, and those are also private-owned pieces of land. We also have another lady who owns a land not far from where Yakhe Kwinana has her own piece of land, and she is also crying about the same situation as well, on how her land was taken over. But also you have people that are unsuspecting and unaware, who are made to believe that the land that they're getting into, that they've been given, does not have an owner, or it's in the process of being bought by a committee or by the entire community through lawyers and through the municipality. This is what most of the people were told when they moved into portion 11.
Yeah, Sipha, I just wanted to, perhaps we can get some more clarity with regards to, what your guest ultimately was speaking about, especially when it comes to the form of harassment that was put forward then as well, as she claims, by Yakhe Kwinana as well. Just perhaps you can, if you could share a little bit more with regards to that part.
So from what we know is that the harassment issue, it was a different case prior to this one, where the number of occupants, such as the ones that we have here today, had actually opened a case of harassment against her. And what we were informed was that the case came, but Ms. Kwinana was awarded and won that case of harassment. Now, the reason why that case of harassment was opened, the occupants were claiming that they were being harassed by the security service, the private security company that Ms. Kwinana had contracted, that is owned by the taxi boss Gabs Mjala, that had been going into various people's homes and houses demanding for the rent, asking if they've paid rent. And the description that they gave is that doors were being kicked down, there was intimidation as well, and the children were scared. So that's where the harassment part comes in. That was a separate matter that is not included in this case. Now, if you remember, this case, it's malicious damage to property, it is illegal evictions, and also extortion.
Very interesting case indeed, because there's so many moving parts to it as well then. Sipha, thank you so much for that, and we'll continue to try and get more on this one. Of course, you'll wrap this up for us as well during Prime, so we'll continue to get more assessment of this story.